Sarah, Chris, Emily, Matt, and Rachel had been planning their weekend getaway for months. The excitement was palpable as they discussed the details one last time in their group chat. But suddenly, Emily interrupted the conversation, her voice filled with concern. "Wait, you guys haven't heard the news?" she asked, her tone uneasy. "There's a serial killer in town. People are disappearing, and no one knows who's next." The others rolled their eyes and laughed it off, dismissing her worries. "Come on, Emily," Sarah replied, her voice cheerful and carefree. "We've been looking forward to this trip for weeks. A little serial killer isn't going to ruin it for us." "Yeah, don't be such a buzzkill," Matt chimed in, his usual bravado shining through. "If he shows up, I've got my baseball bat. I'll bash his head in. We're gonna have a blast, so stop worrying." Emily hesitated, glancing at her phone one last time, reading the latest news on the killer's rampage. But in the end, her friends managed to convince her to go along with the trip. Reluctantly, she agreed to join them, putting her fears aside for the sake of the weekend. As they packed into the car the next morning, Sarah took charge of the itinerary. "All right, here's the plan," she said with enthusiasm. "I've booked us this amazing cabin with a hot tub. Then on Saturday, we'll go hiking, and on Sunday, we'll hit the beach. It's going to be awesome." The drive to Lakeview Lodge was filled with laughter and music, the weight of their worries momentarily forgotten. Upon arriving, they wasted no time settling in. The lodge was quaint and picturesque, tucked away in the mountains with a stunning view of the surrounding forest. The group spent the afternoon playing games, swimming in the hot tub, and enjoying each other's company, completely unaware of the horrors that lay ahead. Around 2 a.m., a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence. It was Matt. The scream jolted everyone awake. Confused and terrified, they stumbled out of their rooms, only to realize Matt was nowhere to be found. "Matt?" Sarah called out, her voice trembling. They split up to search for him, fear creeping into every step as they moved deeper into the shadowy woods. It was Emily who found him, lying lifeless on the forest floor. Her face turned pale as she realized he was soaked in blood, his baseball bat lying useless beside him. With shaking hands, Emily texted the group, "Guys, Matt is dead." The responses came instantly, disbelieving. "What do you mean?" Sarah replied, dread mounting. "His body is right here." He's gone," Emily responded, her fingers numb. Suddenly, Rachel froze, hearing footsteps crunching through the leaves. She held her breath and quickly hid behind a nearby tree, watching as a shadowed figure moved past her. She could barely make out the large, menacing silhouette, a man with something sharp glinting in his hand. But as she held her breath, praying he wouldn't notice her, her phone started to ring. The sound shattered the silence, and the man turned around, spotting her instantly. Rachel took off running, but it was no use. The killer was fast, his footsteps closing in until she felt him right behind her. With one last, desperate scream, she was silenced. Chris, now on the edge of panic, texted the group, "We need to get out of here, now." He tried to convince Emily and Sarah, but before he could finish the message, Sarah's scream rang out in the distance. The killer had found her. "No!" Chris texted frantically, his mind racing. "Sarah's gone, too. We need to go, now." Emily, trembling with fear, responded, "Tell me where you are, Chris. I'm coming to you." But there was no reply. "Chris? Chris, where are you?" Emily texted again, but still, no response came. Her heart sank. She knew, something had happened to him too. Suddenly, Emily felt the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. She looked over her shoulder and froze. In the distance, she saw him. The killer, his figure tall and menacing, stalking her through the trees. Her heart stopped for a moment. She turned and ran, her legs burning as she sprinted through the dark woods. But no matter how fast she ran, he was always just behind her, his footsteps never faltering, his presence never far away. She glanced over her shoulder once more, only to find him much closer. Fear surged through her veins as she pushed herself harder, but the darkness closed in, and her body gave out. Before she could scream, before she could beg for mercy, the killer was on her, and everything went dark.